Hey guys, welcome back to the Revolution Room. Today we're going to be talking about the government shutdown. We're coming up on the first full month of this going on, so a lot of people are going to be feeling their losing their first full paycheck of this deal. I just want to review a couple videos and see what Republicans and Democrats have to say about it. This first one's of Ocasio-Cortez. I know she's annoying, so if you feel like it, go ahead and fast forward through it if you want.
So, Congresswoman, it seems like your name keeps being brought up during this shutdown debate, and specifically as it relates to Senator Schumer, that you're the one pressuring Senator Schumer to hold out here. How would you respond to those attacks?
I mean, it is so ridiculous, and I think that what we are seeing right now is that Republicans, the vice president yesterday in his comments, they are desperate. They have shut down the government. They have found themselves in this situation. Federal workers, they're trying to pressure federal workers into possible Hatch Act violations. And they're saying this stuff about me in the press. And the fact of the matter is, I can tell you, in the 7 years that I've been here, they have never given me a single phone call because they know what the truth is. They know that the people that they need to be negotiating with and who they are negotiating with are Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer, and that they are getting walloped in these negotiations because they have no plan for people, and we are here to ensure that every American has expanded and protected healthcare in America.
So, do you want to be part of the negotiations? Would you walk into a room and go toe-to-toe with J.D. Vance?
It's so important to understand that these people are all talk. They are all talk. They're negotiating with Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries and Democratic leadership, and Democrats are united to that end.
Now, one of the things they keep saying is that you want to primary Chuck Schumer in New York. I mean, you haven't answered that question directly.
I think the answer is that people are sick of politics being determined by these horse races. We are here to make sure that people can afford their insulin. And we can't allow all of this nonsense to distract us from the fact that starting today, people's premiums are going to be doubling. I was hearing from some folks last night who are already working in Medicare and they're working in insurance industries. And 80-year-olds and 90-year-olds are going to be seeing their insurance premiums go up by 100%. People are going to die. Nobody cares about some election years from now. They care about if their kids can get insulin and if they can put food on the table. And the more people want to talk about that, the more callous they're being about the realities that everyday Americans are facing.
And so when they say, then let's just get the government back open and negotiate for 7 weeks, why don't you buy that argument?
Because they don't. We've seen this happen over and over again. And every time this administration says something, they go back on their word. We have to just end this right now. Let's make sure that people's healthcare premiums are protected. Let's end this shutdown. Let's get people fed and let's get these paychecks back flowing. And the ask isn't even that much. Republicans are in charge of the House, the Senate, and the presidency. If you are asking for another party's vote, you should be open to negotiate. They do this all the time. So the fact that they are offended that there would be any sort of discussion on how we protect healthcare in America is just silly. And the request here genuinely is not that big. It's not that big.
And you say Democrats are united right now. How long could you be united for?
I know I am a member of the House of Representatives. Our caucus is tremendously united. And what this administration is saying about fighting for health care for undocumented people is a total lie. I mean, just genuinely, it's a total lie. We're fighting to make sure that people's health care premiums can remain low as possible after $1 trillion in cuts to our health care system that the Republican majority just passed a few months ago. This is going to have a tremendous and devastating effect on people's everyday lives and their ability to put food on the table. And that's what we're trying to make sure that we are protecting people from.
All right, so the first thing, the most astonishing thing she said there was that she's been around for only 7 years. It feels like a decade because she is plumb annoying. Second thing, the whole reason this government shutdown is going on is because the Affordable Care Act is about to be expired. And so the Democrats are trying to get that renewed. Now, let's get into, it's not even that big of an ask, she says. What we're asking for is not that even that big of an ask. Well, let's just take a look and see here. This is what they're asking for that would continue the Affordable Care Act. Let's see. Ending Medicaid funding for most non-citizens. Ending enhanced FMAP for emergency care to illegal immigrants. Not legal immigrants, but illegal immigrants. Ending Medicare funding for most non-citizens. Once again, that word, non-citizens? I thought we were about the citizens. All right, let's see what else. Ending Obamacare funding for most non-citizens. So all of this looks like stuff they want for non-citizens or illegal immigrants to me. Bringing the total to $192 billion. And she says it's not that big of an ask. Well, that's a pretty big ask. Okay, we're going to jump into what Mike Johnson had to say about this.
We're joined by the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson. Mr. Speaker, thank you for joining us this morning. The Democratic proposal is designed to prevent millions of Americans from losing their health insurance, losing Medicaid coverage, or paying higher health care premiums. Why are you against that?
That's an absurd statement, what you said there. Let's be clear about what happened last night, George. No, George, let me tell you what happened last night. Everybody can go and review the facts for themselves. 44 Senate Democrats voted to reject a clean, nonpartisan continuing funding resolution to keep the United States government open. The Democrats said instead that they wanted to give health care to illegal aliens instead of keeping critical services provided for the American citizens. That's what happened, plain and simple. Every Democrat in the House, except one, voted against the clean continuing resolution. It was nonpartisan in nature. There are no policy riders on it that Republicans favored. It's exactly what Chuck Schumer and other Democrats voted for in March. But they've changed their tune. They changed their tune because Chuck Schumer is having political problems right now. That's just a simple fact, and everybody knows it. He's trying to outrun the far left portion of his base, so he's decided to inflict pain on the American people.
That's
the reality of what we're facing.
Here are the facts. The proposal does not provide health care for illegal immigrants. Illegal immigrants cannot buy health care under the Affordable Care Act. They cannot receive health care subsidies.
No.
Illegal immigrants are ineligible for Medicare, Medicaid, and the Children's Health Program. The Democratic bill does not make them eligible.
It does, actually, because what it does is it unwinds the changes that Republicans put into the big, beautiful bill, the big signature legislation that we passed and signed into law on July 4th. That has been very successful in shoring up Medicaid for the people who are actually eligible to receive it. What we did in the bill, and the CBO just verified this 3 weeks ago, the Congressional Budget Office, the nonpartisan arbiters of everything up here, they said that those provisions have helped to reduce premiums. Why? Because we got ineligible recipients off of Medicaid, illegal aliens, and able-bodied young men who are riding the wagon who are not eligible to be there. Medicaid is intended for specific populations of U.S. citizens. That is young, pregnant women who are down on their luck, the disabled and the elderly. Those resources are being drained from those folks, and so we fixed that. We reduced fraud, waste, and abuse in the program. Chuck Schumer's counterproposal on the CR would reverse that. That is a simple fact.
The CBO did not say that about illegal immigrants. You've made your point.
All right, so Mike Johnson's right. It's all about health care for illegal immigrants, and people are starting to catch on to that fact. A lot of these federal workers are starting to turn on the Democrats. Let's look at this. On the U.S. Forest Service website, this is the first thing that pops up. The radical left Democrats shut down the government. This government website will be updated periodically during the funding lapse for mission-critical functions. President Trump has made it clear he wants to keep the government open and support those who feed, fuel, and clothe the American people. So even federal services are starting to call bullshit on Democrats. So Yeah, I'm pretty certain that it's the Democrats' fault for wanting to support illegal immigrants. Let me know what you think down below in the comment section. Hit that subscribe button and see you on the next one.